Welcome to the Focus Show. I'm your host, Edric Jones, and today I have a special guest with me today, former TV morning and midday anchor for Wavy News 10. He's been a radio disc jockey. He is also the founder of the charity Chestnuts Night, which is a chess club
Chestnuts Nights Network.
That helps troubled teens get back on track. He is also the grandfather of one of our production crew members, Donovan. So welcome to the show today, Don.
Thank you for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
All right.
Little quick question. How's your day been so far?
I woke up. It's been great. I got up. I realize every day that there's some folks that can't do that.
Yeah.
Get up out of the bed. So I wake up with a grateful attitude, an attitude of gratitude. So I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Same. I woke up, got dressed.
Getting dressed is a good thing.
Yeah, and then I got ready for school. School's been doing good, did my work. And
you excited about school?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm able to get an education and gain a better knowledge on certain things I'm struggling with.
Thank you for using that word knowledge, because knowledge is the power to get paid. You want to get paid?
Yeah.
You got to know something.
Yeah.
So you're on your way.
Yeah, thank you, man. So start with the first question. What was your journey like in becoming an anchor?
Challenging and fun. I first got the ideas back in high school while watching kids in a club do announcements for the school. And I thought, I'd like to do that. And I tried it. I liked the responsibility of speaking to the whole school. And I did it pretty well, and a teacher suggested that I consider a career in communications, radio and TV, broadcasting. Use that same talent, turn it into a skill, and get paid. And I like that.
Yeah.
High school got me started. That counselor suggested I go to a community college. I thought about going, I'm in Baltimore, and I thought about going to Syracuse or UCLA or Temple or Howard. But I didn't have the money or the grades to get a scholarship. But he said, you could start right here at the community college. It's affordable. You could apply for scholarships, and they had a radio station and a TV station. I earned a 2-year scholarship. Thank you, Urban League, for that. 2 years, paid for it. Pencils, even. Books, whatever I needed was paid for. I just had to maintain a 3.0. And I did that gratefully. Radio, TV station, had a chance to get hands-on, to practice, to meet people in the business. And the more time I put in, the volunteer time plus the class time, the more I enjoyed it. And while enjoying working with the technology and the people and getting the opportunity to be a disc jockey, music, vinyl records.
Yep.
Wheels of Steel. Oh, you know about that?
Yeah, I got some vinyl records.
Oh yeah, all right. You got Technics 1200 turntable?
My turntable broke, sadly.
Oh, man.
So I'm probably going to ask for a new one for Christmas, hopefully.
Santa Claus will take care of you.
Yeah.
But I had a chance to work at the college radio station, 50,000 watt, powerful radio station in Baltimore that could be heard in DC and in Pennsylvania and in Delaware. And the instructors advised me to take it very seriously because of the range of that station, but because of the responsibility of being on the air and that somebody is always listening. Don't waste their time and give them your best. And I took that to heart. I enjoyed the responsibilities, the fun of doing a music show. I had the freedom of choosing my music, freedom and responsibility. I worked in news also while in community college and had some folks who were in the business train me to read, to write, to initiate, to research, to find news, get the information, the who, what, when, where, how, and why, and present it on the radio, short, sweet, to the point. And then television, the same opportunity to try it, to do something like what we're doing now. But yours is a little more elaborate than what we had.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I knew I was in the right track. And I used that opportunity in community college to polish my act and presentation to get a job in Washington at WHUR FM, and on the air on Saturday night, midnight to 6 Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, midnight to 5. And that was my first on-air paid job at WHUR in Washington. So I commuted back and forth. It was at the end of my 2 years at Community College of Baltimore, I transferred to Towson University. And that job, working weekends and any overtime I could get, it helped me pay for my 2 years at Towson University, where I graduated.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. People's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different, and I just definitely wanted to ask yours. And you had a different route. You went to a community college since you didn't have the academic record that you would like, and you was
To get a scholarship.
Yeah, to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was able to push the pathway through that and be able to make it out through there.
All right, so I got scholarship for the first 2 years, but for the second 2 years at Towson, my part-time job at the radio station in Washington paid enough for me to pay my own way through my last 2 years at Towson. So that was good. And fast forwarding, I moved here to take a full-time job in radio news with the hopes of moving to one of the TV stations in this area where the staff was willing to train a brand new TV news reporter. So I got my entry-level reporting position here at Wavy after moving here.
Man, that's great.
So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. So while doing that journey, who were some of your favorite anchors?
Max Robinson, Washington, D.C., was my favorite. He was a local anchor in Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. is major. He went on to ABC Network to become first black male news anchor on network news. And Max was good. Max was good. Max, on the network level, on the local level in Baltimore, a couple of anchors who inspired me, who were on WJZ TV in Baltimore, and I like what they did and how they did it, and they seemed to like their jobs. And I was thinking, in this business, I wanted to do a job or have a job that I enjoy doing. And watching them kind of set the mold for me here. And I was thankful to get an opportunity that I could do something that meant something to the community and enjoy doing it.
Yeah, man, that's lovely. So
lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely. And so, what was your preparations like when you got to Wavy 10, and how was you able to prepare before being on air?
My first opportunity at Wavy was in 1981, and I was training as a news reporter, and at that time we were working with film. You know what film is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working with film.
Movies and stuff.
Yeah. And then we transitioned to videotape at that time. And in addition to working with that technology and working with a photographer, I had to learn how to tell a story and present it on TV. And initially, the supervisor, the editor, the chief reporter showed me what to do and then turned me loose. And the rest of it I had to figure out. And I was fortunate to work with a photographer who had been in the business for several years, who said, well, we need to shoot this scene and get certain shots. Like if it's a fire, you know, first on the scene, you're getting a wide shot establishing where you are, and then specific shots of what's happening, how the fire is ravaging the home, people who are watching, people who are affected, and firefighters on the scene working to extinguish the fire, finding someone who knew, you know, what happened, how it happened, why it happened, when, where, who's affected by it, how the neighborhood is affected by it.
You gotta get the full details.
Yeah, all of that. Yeah. And I had to pretty much take the training that I had in radio and applied to TV, and the basics again, who, what, when, where, how, and why. Who's affected by this? Who cares? What do people want to know? And what do people need to know? And then short, sweet, to the point, 90 seconds. See ya.
Was there any difficulties before being on air or even being on air? Was there any difficulties?
Challenges in dealing with the pressure of working to get something done within a certain amount of time. Yeah. And the more I did it, the better I got at it, and the more I was able to deal with that pressure. And to stay focused on the job at hand and getting it right, and checking again, and maybe checking a third time, just to be sure, because a mistake on television could be devastating. I once had a news director who reminded us of the impact of our words and the importance of getting it right and being fair. And he said that when we hurt someone or libel or defame them, where do they go to get their reputation back? So we can make that mistake and it hurts them, and then the world knows that this person is a bad person because we said it. Yeah. And then it's like, I'm sorry, we got to make a correction, and we make the correction, and it's not seen as widely or promoted and reported as prominently as the mistake. And it appears that maybe if 100 people heard the mistake, maybe 10 would hear the correction.
Yeah, media is huge.
And then it seems like everybody likes to see a train wreck or a scandal. And then folks see it and it's like, wow. And then folks talk. It's one person to tell 12 other people about the bad thing. But how many folks will run around and tell someone about the good thing? So he emphasized, or all of them emphasized, to get it right. Take the extra moment to ask the question, to check the fact again, to be right.
Yeah, because media spreads, regardless of what you say, whether it's something positive or negative, it just spreads and people talk. And then regardless if it's good or bad, it's going to get the word out. So yeah, we'll take a quick break with the amazing career of Don Roberts. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to the Virginia High School 1600 meter state championship. As we get back to the action, we see Miles Monpoint is gaining on Antonio Boyd for the first place finish. Oh! Miles Monpoint just tripped Antonio Boyd.
But Trayvon is helping him up right now.
Trayvon is helping him up, as Trayvon just sacrificed his third place finish to help out Antonio Boyd.
Yeah, that right there is kindness and excellent sportsmanship right there by Trayvon.
Are you okay?
Welcome back to the Focus Show. I'm your host, Edric Jones, and I'm here with our guest today, Don Roberts. And now, since you're retired officially as an anchor, how's the transition been like?
Tough. For 33 years at Wavy, I was used to getting up at 2:30 in the morning and hustling, getting me together, getting from Newport News to Portsmouth, and going on the air at 4:30. The show started initially just a half hour, 6:30 to 7. Then it was 6 to 7. Then 5:30 to 7. Then 5. Then 4:30 to 7. And then 4:30 to 9. And so as those responsibilities increased, and then also hosting and anchoring the noon show, it got to be a challenge mentally, but I grew into it, and it was fun. It was enjoyable, and it was a lot of responsibility. And to suddenly stop after 33 years, it was a shock to the system. but I've adjusted. Now I love not having to get up at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I miss doing that kind of thing every day and then being in the game, so to speak. So now I watch a lot of TV, and I'm doing a lot of yelling at the TV. You didn't get that right. Why did you say this? Why did you ask that? And that's kind of like a sport.
Yeah.
But there are other things to do. And one of the key things that I love doing while retired is spending more time with family. And then I need to spend more time with family. So there's the need, plus I enjoy it.
Yeah, part of what you said was kind of leads to my next question. What was the Channel 10 environment like when you was there for such a long time?
Stimulating, working around a lot of talented people. Kids, young people, 20s, just getting out of college. This is their first job. Others who are seasoned pros, and all with the same mission of putting something on TV that is good for the viewer to see and answers the questions, what do I want to know and what do I need to know? And putting our best effort forward, seeing the product on the air, and then getting that feedback from viewers that they got it, or we filled that need for them. We told them what they wanted to know. We told them what they needed to know.
Yeah, so while you was an anchor in Channel 10, did you do any like side hobbies or any like stuff on the side that you did that you loved you doing?
Yes. Oh, first of all, the main way I spend my time not on the air was family. So 3 children, my wife, Mrs. Varna Roberts, and I have been married. It'll be 43 years in February. 43 years. So you got to find yourself a good woman, man. 43 years, and our 3 children, grown and gone, because you grow up, you graduate, get your education, then you go.
You gotta go.
You go. And now 7 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. And I'm enjoying the opportunity to spend more time with them. In the community, one pet project has turned into a mission, and I'm really enjoying it. And that's the volunteer effort where I work with a group of men mainly, who go to Newport News Juvenile Jail, the Newport News Juvenile Detention Center, every Wednesday. And we play chess and mentor the teens who are behind bars, the teens who are being detained, or the teens who are incarcerated in jail. And we engage them. We play chess, we teach the game. Some of the teenagers who are locked up teach us because they know the game. But our whole thought is to mentor and to hammer home the thought that is the theme of chess: think before you move, always protect the king. Think before you move, always protect the king. And we're hoping to get into their brains that thought on a regular basis, so that when they get out of juvenile detention, when they get out of juvenile jail, when they finish serving their sentence, whether it's in that jail or a harder facility because of a more serious crime, that they will not want to come back, which means their thinking will be selfish. It'll be, yes, I am a king. Yes, I am worthy, and I'm better than that. And I'm not going to do something stupid, that I know is going to get me sent to jail or sent to prison. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to think more of myself. I'm going to protect myself as if I were a king. I know it sounds maybe a little absurd, but if it sinks in, then the kid who grows into an adult will just tell himself, I'm worthy. I'm better than that. I can do good things, great things even. And I can develop my skill and talent or that's something special about me, and share it with somebody, whether it's on a job or with my family or all of the above, and contribute to society, make a difference.
Yeah. That's unique. Like, you able to spread knowledge through teenagers through a game of chess.
Chess.
Like, if from an outside viewpoint, people don't think that deep. Like when it comes to spreading knowledge to kids like me that don't really play chess like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're giving them valuable knowledge and energy and effort you're putting into them to able to get out and make a difference in their life.
That's what we're hoping to do.
Truly special, man.
And we just got news. Our group, Chess Nuts Knights Network, just got word that one of the teens that we mentored, who had been in Newport News juvenile detention for almost a year and a half, while he was waiting for his trial and sentencing and his ultimate acquittal, he was found not guilty. It was a self-defense case. And he got out, was determined to do better. He joined the Marines, and he just finished boot camp.
Oh, wow.
Yes, just finished boot camp in the Marines. He called me up a day before this taping, and it was good to hear from him. That was exciting. Some of the other teens that we've mentored are either serving time or they got out and they're like in the wind. But we're hoping that we'll see them on the street. I hope we'll see him on the street or have some kind of contact.
Yeah.
And they'll say, hey, we're doing fine. We're doing okay.
Man, that's amazing. So back to Channel 10, what was your most memorable moment?
Wow, a lot of them. A lot of them.
Can you pick one? Just
I'll pick
top
one. One would be a feature report that I had to do on a regular basis called Wednesday's Child. Every Wednesday, I would feature a report that's shown a spotlight on a child who was in foster care and was waiting for a family to adopt him or her. And there was one family with 5 kids who were in foster care. So 5 kids who were in homes other than their own. Mom had messed up. Pop had, or the fathers had messed up. And either they were out in the wind, so to speak, or locked up, or just running from their responsibility. And so these 5 children were in temporary homes. And social services had since gotten custody of them so that these children were without a family. And so they were in temporary care, foster care, and they were available for adoption. Every year there are hundreds of children in foster care waiting for adoption, hoping a family is going to take them in and say, hey, we're going to be your family now. Well, we featured the 5 children on TV, and it was fun interacting with the little one, which was about 5 or 6, on up to the teenagers, like 15, 16, 17. Yeah. And they were adopted. They were adopted. A family came forward and took all 5 of them. And so we showed the before, when we first featured them, and then the after with their new family. And that was a fantastic feeling. Yeah. And it wasn't the lead story. It wasn't the breaking news. It wasn't the top story that night on the news. But to me, it was the most important story that we told that day. Yeah. That these children were in need, and a family stepped forward to take them in. And I'll never forget that.
That's beautiful. You do that every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday we had a different child. And it got to a point where it was harder to find children in foster care to feature. Because once we put them on TV, if the child was local, and once we put them on TV, then their peers would see them and tease them about being in foster care. And we were thinking, that's crazy. Why would the kid tease? But then I was thinking about, my growing up. Or maybe, when you were growing up, some kids were on your case for, whatever. Because kids can be brutal. And now with social media, that's times 2 or 3 or 4, that kind of brutality. And we couldn't feature local children. So the children had to be driven in by a social worker from Richmond, Fredericksburg, Roanoke. those areas and featured here, and hopefully a family here would reach out to them. And but the local kids we couldn't feature on TV because there was too much blowback. So we also started featuring children who needed mentors in Big Brothers, Big Sisters, or the Up Centers, a team up program. And that was fun, featuring children who were in single or no parent families and they needed mentors. Like a boy, no dad in the home, we would invite a man to sign up to be his mentor, meet with him once every 2 weeks, like 4 or 5 hours a day, hang out. And by hanging out, the boy is watching the man and the boy is learning how to be a man. So that was fun.
That's great, man. We have more with Don Roberts. Stay tuned for that. So we're back with Don Roberts, and I want to ask you, did you have any career aspirations before being an anchor?
Yes, thought about being a minister, a priest, back in elementary school. And I thought that that was a calling. And when I got to high school, my thinking changed. I think I discovered girls. Different kind of calling. But the desire to do something that meant something stayed with me. And matter of fact, my ministry now is reaching out to teens and with the mentoring program and other ways, and visiting schools and doing my little raps and rhymes and stuff. Now, I don't know if you know, thought I had my books right here, but my books, Rap to Live By and Hey Daddy, Read This. So still reaching out to kids with some positive word. I also thought about being a mortician, a funeral director. It was something about the service that a funeral director provides that comforts a family when that family is devastated because of the loss of a loved one. And I still think about that and serving in that capacity or working in that empathetic environment in some way.
So my last question for you is how you feel about the new generation of talents coming up, new anchors?
I'm excited. Man, you guys, first of all, you have so much technical skill with social media and computers and programming. So I'm excited about that and how you make yourself stand out with so many other folks out here doing the same thing. Yeah. And you got to be extremely creative to make you stand out. I mean, every time you turn phone, web, tick, tock, tock, tick, all of that. and some folks will, the cream will rise to the top. Those personalities or those outstanding communicators will succeed. And to watch you survive in that environment, to distinguish yourself is exciting to watch.
So we're out of time now, sadly.
What?
It's great. It was great talking to you, though.
Can we go to the break and come back and do it again?
I wish.
Hey.
But it was great talking to you. The excellent Don Roberts. I'm Edric Jones, and we'll see y'all next time. Take care.